Welcome back, viewers. We now have a technology presentation on the topic Transforming the Retail Customer Journey with Video by Mr. Peter Howard, Regional Technical Director of Brightcove. I'd now like to give a short brief about Mr. Howard. So, Mr. Peter Howard is a Regional Technical Director for Brightcove, working across the APAC region. He supports a broad range of Brightcove's customers, ranging from broadcasters and publishers to sports and art organizations, through to agencies and enterprises. Peter has years of experience in web agencies and in driving the adoption of digital solutions, focusing on video as the latest and most powerful form of digital communication and audience engagement. So stay tuned, viewers, for this wonderful technology presentation by Mr. Howard.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Howard, Regional Technical Director for Brightcove in APAC. Today I want to talk about the ways that video can be used to transform the customer journey, particularly in the retail space. So there are a few different topic areas that I want to talk about, some of the ways that video can have an impact, but in particular give some examples of the different ways that video can be used across the customer journey. And finally I want to turn to some of the ways that our customers are using video today and how Brightcove helps in this space. Obviously, we know video works. Video has an impact. It can be transformative in the way that you can engage with an audience. Particularly in the retail space, we have really good data to back this up. Clearly, a broad number of viewers have engaged with video as part of the purchase process. And some of this happens early on, and we know that video has a big impact in terms of convincing people to actually buy a product or service. But certainly we also know that people prefer to engage with video to learn about a product or a service. It's certainly a lot more compelling than having to read through lots of text or to navigate a broad website if I can get a summary view of how to engage with a product. Certainly there's demand from viewers to do this as well. 85% of people saying that they would like to see more video from brands. And this translates just purely from the way that we know that people engage with content online, with 18 hours a week in average of time spent watching online video. We know that video is compelling content too, with video being twice as shared, people being twice as likely to share video content compared to other types of content. Turning to the India market in particular, we know that these last couple of years have been particularly transformative for retail and for the digital transformation in this space. Some of this was already coming in terms of the huge acceleration of the market, of more and more people coming online, with the India market now up to 624 million active internet users. The overall online retail market is estimated to be worth $73 billion by next year. But we also saw that last year had a big impact on on really accelerating the growth in e-commerce revenue. That final figure talking to that direct-to-consumer e-commerce revenue nearly doubling in size in 2020. A lot of this was obviously driven by the pandemic, by people kind of having to shift their spending to online. But what also came with it was in India bringing a lot of tier 2 and tier 3 cities online, shifting the engagement patterns, the expectation of those consumers to be able to purchase online. And as we've seen around the world, retail is one of the areas that really won't go back from where it is progressed. The expectations set over the pandemic of people being able to consume online, to purchase online. We're not going to see that drop. This has really just brought forward a transformation that was already happening. But what's particularly compelling about video and being able to adopt video in this space, and what makes retail, I think, a really great place to experiment with video, is that it is really easy to measure. there are some key ROI, key return metrics that you can measure in terms of understanding that your investment in video is having an impact. These are the three key areas that we see people measure. A boost to conversion rates is an obvious one. We know that when there's video on the page, people are more likely to convert. And that can happen at any stage during the journey, using video to convert people via a campaign all the way through to the presence of video on a product page, for example. But some of the other impacts have an even greater overall impact. Using video to grow cart sizes. In some cases, this is about being able to easily recommend related products, being able to have videos that feature multiple products, so that if you've already got a user who is, has a propensity to purchase, and you're able to show them more things that go together with what they're purchasing, that you're boosting the value of that checkout. And finally, return rates becomes an interesting thing, because when we're thinking about that kind of measurable conversion impact on a page, it's easy to think about, okay, more viewers results in a greater conversion, or in more dollars at checkout. But the longer term impact on being able to reduce return rates, because people are more comfortable with the products that they're purchasing, because they understand more about the fit, more about the use of it. Having a direct impact on reducing return rates has a direct impact on reducing those costs of doing business. So how do we think about the ways that video can be used through the customer journey? There's obviously a broad set of use cases in the retail space. Some of these vary depending whether you're talking about pure e-commerce or overlapping with brick and mortar retail, but I think there are elements of this that are relevant to everybody. Being able to create engaging, authentic experiences for your buyers, and personalize that retail experience. It's all about creating this relationship with your audience, with your users, with your customers, that video is able to do in really unique ways. It also extends your brand's reach. It extends the ability to get to reach out to buyers wherever they are, whether this is about distributing video out to social to make sure that you're picking people up wherever they happen to be engaging with your brand, but also being able to support an experience on a mobile device. We obviously know that the e-commerce on mobile is far outweighs purchase on desktop, and nobody's browsing through big websites and scrolling through long pages or lots of photo sets, but being able to quickly watch a video on the go can provide a really compelling way to understand a product and really drive that conversion. But then one of the key things too, particularly for people that have more of that brick and mortar traditional retail space, is being able to use video across the whole retail footprint. Think about whether it's QR codes in store that better explain a product, or QR codes in a shipping container. Even if you don't have people coming into a store, but if you're able to send out box products, there's a code on there. You can look up, okay, how do I install whatever it is? How do I style the piece of clothing I've bought? And obviously it's all about driving that increased conversion and the impact that it has on ROI. So when we talk to customers in this space, there are a number of different video types that people really need to think about creating. And these fit across the buying cycle. The key thing here is that video has a role to play all the way through, from awareness and engagement through to conversion, but then beyond the point of purchase into customer retention, into customer advocacy. And different mixes of videos will have a different impact at different stages of this journey, but it's always worth thinking about producing content that can be used in a number of different locations. There's the traditional brand promotion type thing. It might be the piece of content that you once produced as a campaign, or that you might have run as a TVC, but being able to make these in ways that fit more with your brand experience and the way that customers engage online can be really compelling just purely from an awareness perspective. But then being able to roll that through to things like explainers and product demos and how-to tutorials, these become much more concrete, and people start to engage with your brand, the particular thing that they might be going to purchase, or some other kind of related elements there. Flowing through to things like bringing in experts, having testimonials, doing events, unboxings, ways to really kind of recreate that experience that once people might have only been able to get by going into a store or being able to go by going to an in-person event. Video can really kind of close that gap in terms of the way that a buyer consumes and engages with your brand. And finally, there's the simple things, the tips and tricks, the popcorn type videos, the little humorous things. These don't even have to be kind of high budget video. They can be simple things that just increase your footprint, but they also just provide more and more opportunities for your audience to engage. So I want to talk through some examples here of what we see some of our customers doing. So Bunnings in Australia have a really interesting example. They're a big hardware store and home supplies store, but they have a big engagement with this DIY home improvement audience. And to really boost their brand engagement and their brand value, they produced a series of episodic content around a home renovation. They actually purchased a house, systematically knocked it all down, and rebuilt lots of elements of it. So they have this series of videos that kind of talk to different parts of the renovation process, take people through, both how did the renovation go, but it's also, obviously, there's this brand element with the team there shopping in the store. So it's an aspirational piece of content, provides a kind of high level engagement. You could sit back and just watch this because you're interested in DIY or in home renovation. But then it also obviously ties into elements that really play well when people are ready to make that next stage. So we can follow this through then to being able to break it down into these individual project videos, and these project videos are also available standalone, so they act as a kind of hygiene content that's relevant to people all year round. These obviously are able to tie into that kind of next stage where it really is about driving shopping. So obviously the steps to repeat the process, the ability to go through and drive suggested products. Now this isn't really the primary goal, but I think what's valuable here is that they've thought about the ways that the same video can be repurposed at different stages of the buying cycle. But then there's also just the everyday video. And H&M have some great content here where, on top of their regular product imagery, they've also just shot a series of videos, and they're really simple and plain. There's not much of a player experience here. It's just an extension of what they're already doing with photos. But it's all there to just, describe the fit, get a feel for the flow, maybe get a sense of styling. These don't have to be complex videos. This can just be shot, at the same time that they're already shooting the model for their regular product offering. So obviously there are lots of ways that campaign videos and product videos can really drive this kind of always-on engagement with your brand. Live can kind of take it to the next level, and live video can be a really great opportunity for driving more engagement, more conversion. We see, for example, the massive impact of live commerce in China, and this ranges from everything from being able to drive deals through to being able to really engage with experts behind the brand. The woman pictured here is a buyer and a stylist, and she's able to take the audience along for kind of this inside look, behind the scenes look, where people are actually engaging with her, they're asking questions. This level of engagement just drives a massive reach that you never could have got to a really broad audience. Tmon out of Korea are a really interesting case where they use live commerce to promote these kind of deals of the week or deals of the day. It helps that the live event is tied to a special offer, but it really provides a reason for people to come in and watch, to join in the deal. And they've provided this really engaging experience where people can sit there and watch the stream, they can engage with it, they can ask questions, they can hit the reactions as they go. And the hosts will be able to speak back to that audience. But at the same time, the user can kind of shrink the video and go on and browse the app and engage with it in other ways, whether that's kind of directly driving a purchase or if it's just boosting engagement with your brand. There's value kind of across the purchase funnel in that. So how does Brightcurve help? I want to start by presenting a little video that talks to how we see the retail space.
The world's most successful retailers know it's a game of show and sell. Video brings products and brands to life in a way nothing else can. And Brightcove brings video to life in a way no other technology can. That's why the world's best retailers partner with us. We think big to help create more love for their brand, more demand for their products, and more sales for their company. So when a luxury brand immerses people in video the moment they enter their site, we're there. When a big box store wants to let its customers know what's hot and what's cool, we're there. When the trend is to let customers shop a fashion video in real time, we're there. When a brand wants to build stronger bonds with customers by demoing their products, we're there. When the world streams a live fashion show or watches a famous holiday display come to life, we're there. When growth strategies mean adding commerce experiences in new territories, we're there. We're even there on a new hire's first day. World-class brands know the best way to tell their stories is with video, and the best video experiences for brands and their customers come from Brightcove.
So how does the Brightcove product power all of this? We provide a unified solution, a full suite of product offerings that can power video across your digital experience. Our video marketing suite provides a core video CMS, engaging player analytics, as well as a selection of products for everything from Brightcove Gallery, which allows you to power compelling experiences, whether it's a portal or an experience based around a live event, or it's a video mini site that might help power a how-to gallery or a particular campaign or partnership. Through to Brightcove Social, which helps you distribute video out to social channels, along with a variety of syndication options for making sure that your video message is able to get out there. With Brightcove Audience, you can collect in-depth insights into your viewer engagement. Some of this becomes really compelling when you want to understand what is the video that particular audiences are interested in. Making sure that if you understand who your viewer is and you understand what video they're watching, you can then remarket to them, you can retarget and present a message that might be a compelling deal, or it might be an update to a product that you've seen that they're interested in. And Brightcove Live that is able to power these compelling live events. But over the top of all of this is a broad selection of integrations, and I've called out a couple of our key e-commerce integrations, out-of-the-box integrations with Salesforce Commerce Cloud, with Adobe's Magento 2. These provide kind of really easy interfaces in the back ends of these systems to manage your video, to publish video to product pages, to even do things like bulk attach videos to product SKUs, so that it's just a simple process when you're shooting all your video with your product pages, with a new set of products to automatically just attach them to your product pages. We also have a really extensive suite of APIs that make it possible to integrate video into pretty much any platform. And really importantly, to collect the data and understand that viewership so that you can really both improve your video as well as improve your end user's experience. And we work with a number of customers in this space all around the world and across the region. We know retail, we know video, and these major brands all trust us to deliver the results that they need. So please get in touch if you do have any questions. I'll also be around the event if we have any follow-on questions. Thanks for your time.
That was a wonderful technology presentation by Mr. Howard on transforming the retail customer journey with video. He also gave us some insight onto how Brightcove could help in the retail sector. So viewers, for any questions or queries you may have, as I mentioned earlier, you can drop it in the chatter box that you will find on the left-hand side of your screen, and someone will attend to you very shortly. So now, as we move on, we will have a networking break of about 20 minutes. And once we return, we will have our second technology presentation on LiveRay DXP 7.3. So stay tuned, viewers, and we will see you after the break.